in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, and welcome to the Community Foundation Spotlight. My name is Doug Wilson. I'm the President and CEO of the Community Foundation of the Eastern Shore. And with me today, we have Sylvia Bradley from the Westside Historical Society. So thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
We want to learn all about it. But first, why don't you tell us a little bit about Mrs. Bradley?
Well,
And let me know kind of how you got, what your past has been and how you got involved in the Westside Historical Society.
well, it's not terribly exciting. I was a teacher. I was professor of history at Salisbury University for 35 years.
Wow.
And 5 years before that, I taught North Dorchester High School. So then I moved to the university and stayed there until I retired in 2000. And then I was told, well, when you retire, you're going to be so busy. And I thought that was so foolish, because why would I be busy when I retire? But I'm busier than I ever was.
Yes.
I do a lot of volunteering.
Great.
I began working with the Westside Historical Society. I'd been in that since its founding in '85. And so I began giving a little more time to that. Now I give a lot of time to that.
Mm-hmm.
And I also sit on the boards of several other organizations. I'm on the Pemberton Hall Foundation. I work with a relatively new organization, Double Mills Incorporated, which is trying to restore the old grist mill at near Mardella.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the Lower Eastern Shore Heritage Council board, and I keep busy.
I can tell.
Yes,
What is your role with the Westside Historical Society?
I'm the executive director now.
Great. I was going to get you to say that. So anyway,
Yes.
thanks for being here.
Sure.
So what does the West Side in the name mean?
The West Side refers to the west side of Wacomico County. We started organizing about '84, and the idea was that people on the west side felt that we were kind of overlooked a bit somewhat, so we were going to start our own organization, and we did. One of the founding leaders was Mr. Howard Adkins, and several of us got together and we formed this organization. We got our bylaws and our incorporation and our 501c3 and all that good stuff. And then we have been going ever since.
Do you think the name might limit you to do other things? Because
Actually, it's all we can do.
it's all you can do.
We have enough. Yeah, I don't think we need more. We do try to emphasize the Lower Eastern Shore and the heritage, the very rich cultural heritage of the Lower Eastern Shore. But we focus in on our little part of the world, which is the Nanticoke watershed. We're centered in Mardella Springs. Our offices are there and we have properties there, but we try to give our attention to the entire western part of the county and the Nanticoke watershed in general. So that's about as much as we can handle at this point, I think.
Well, good for you. So I take it then your mission is really to support cultural heritage?
Yes.
And go ahead.
We try to preserve, discover first, and
Really?
preserve.
Wait a minute. What kind of discoveries have you made?
Well, we do some research and we
Oh,
do
good.
a little bit of publishing and that sort
Good.
of thing.
Lovely.
And we have preserved some properties as well as documentary collections and all of that sort of thing. So we've done that, and then we try to promote, and particularly working with younger generations, because history is something that I think they can get an awful lot from for many aspects of their life.
Especially
So-
living here.
Of course.
It's not
we
just the
have
stuff you learn in books.
350 plus years now going on
I
of
know it.
traditions and growth. So,
Absolutely.
so we preserve and promote. That's our idea.
What kinds of activities does the Westside Historical Society become involved in or support or
Well,
put on?
we do a lot with promoting tourism and information and promotion. So we have 3 properties that we are particularly involved with. We own the old Barron Creek Springs Historical Church, a historical church, in Mardella. It was built in 1842. It was given to us several years ago so that it wouldn't be torn down, and we restored it. And we have that open for visitors, local travelers, anybody that's interested, groups. We also make it available for weddings and group meetings and other things of that sort.
Yeah.
We also own very near to it the Barron Creek Springs Spring House.
Yes.
Which was built somewhere around the Civil War period, although the springs, of course, were an early attraction from the 1700s on. And that's one of our new projects that we're really going to try to work on now, is trying to put some interpretive panels at the spring house so that more people can understand what it was and what went on there.
Terrific.
Then we also have the museum.
Yes.
On Main Street.
Okay.
And we had, that is the Barron Creek Heritage Museum, but we particularly have exhibits and things there that come from the entire, well, not just the West Side, but the Lower Eastern Shore.
What kinds of exhibits do you have?
We have 30-some exhibits.
30. Wow.
Yes, we have 4 rooms that concentrate on the lifestyle of the people. We have a parlor with set up to stage it as if it were about the turn of the century, 1900s.
Yeah.
And we have Granny's Kitchen, which is staged about the 1920s with a wood stove and a monitor refrigerator and all of those good things. We have a bedroom, which we did just recently, which we call Alice's Bedroom, and that's staged for about 1910, 1912. With some
chamber
wonderful
pots,
things in
etc.
that. Oh yes, oh yes.
No
and
inside
a
plumbing.
and a rope peg bed.
A rope peg bed, love
rope
it.
peg
Yeah.
bed, yeah. We also have one room that's devoted to the religious beginnings in that area. And so we have objects from different churches that are no more, and we have pictures and that sort of thing. But we have a very large exhibit that deals with the socioeconomic growth and changes of the whole area from the 1600s through the 1950s.
Wow.
We only go about to the 1950s because that's when it really started changing. The area started changing.
Right.
We have History by the Hemline, which is an exhibit of clothing from the Civil War up to the 1930s. We have a special exhibit called the Hall of Heroes, which is devoted to veterans from the area, and we'll be having an event there on November 11th on Veterans Day.
That's lovely.
On
Good.
Sunday, we're going to have an open house, and we're going to have some speakers, and everybody's invited to come to that from
Lovely.
1 to 4.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to give you an opportunity to tell about your upcoming events and
Good.
times and
Sure.
places and all the rest of it. I just
Sure.
kind of wanted to ask you. You have a board of directors.
We do.
Is it pretty much an all volunteer?
All volunteer.
It's
We have
an
no
all-
paid staff.
No paid staff.
None at all.
So this
Not me either.
so these are just folks that are enthusiastic about
Yes.
this kind of work
Yes.
and are passionate about preserving
Yes.
the culture and the history
Exactly.
of the area. And you're all, and then I'm certain there are a lot of others that are wanting to participate as well.
Sure.
Yeah, that's terrific.
Yeah, we have a wide sampling from the various communities, and we have 2 new board members that came on this year are both teachers, elementary school teachers, which we're really excited about because we're really trying to expand our involvement with the elementary schools. We have, last year, we began a project called the Traveling Mystery History Trunk,
Oh boy,
in which we take the museum out to the school.
that's lovely.
We did that about 3 times, and then we had a big field trip at the end of the year as a culminating activity. And we take objects from the museum to the schools, and they are studying Maryland history in the 4th grade. So we did local history, whatever was corresponding. So we did the colonial period, we did the Civil War, a little later period. So that was a great experience, and we're trying to expand that to other schools to make it available.
You know what I think is really great about that is children read about things,
Yes,
the Civil War
yes,
or history, a lot of it not around here,
right?
you know. But when you actually see articles and things that bring to life 3-dimensional kinds of
Exactly.
artifacts that say,
Yeah.
you know what, this is what people looked like, this is what
Right.
they did, this is what was here. It kind of makes it alive, makes it
Exactly.
real for them.
Exactly, it sure does. Yeah,
You
they
know.
love it.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
They are just enthusiastic. There's never any problem. They're really good kids.
Good. Well, let me take a second out to remind everyone you're watching the Community Foundation Spotlight. I'm Doug Wilson, President and CEO of the Community Foundation of the Eastern Shore, and with me today is Sylvia Bradley. She's the Executive Director of the Westside Historical Society, and we're glad that you're here.
Thank you.
Let's continue the journey
Okay.
a little bit. What other kinds of projects or things would you like the community to know about that you're working on now that will be coming out either now or soon?
Well, we're doing several things. We are trying to develop I guess you would say, a tour package.
Mm-hmm.
What we'd like to do is put together a kind of some sort of brochure or something that we haven't really kind of got the technology down yet. That would make it possible for people to do windshield tours, to drive tours, or to have areas in the area all around the Nanticoke Basin that they could discover heritage, and they could also see the beautiful landscape, and they could be a part of nature. We have wonderful riding trails and biking trails and horseback areas. So we're trying to do more with a kind of a heritage tourism package that we can develop. We're also working, I mentioned the Spring House a while ago, and we have owned the Spring House for several years now. Several years ago in the 60s, the gentleman who owned it decided to put brick all over it.
Oh dear.
It was a beautiful Victorian structure, and I guess he was going to save on paint, I suppose. I don't know. Anyway, he put brick, and we'd eventually like to put that back like it was. But in the meantime, we'd like to do some interpretive signage that will let people see, perhaps with some sort of videos, that they can actually see what went on there and what it was about. So we're working on that, and we're working on the education package I mentioned. We also do special events. We have had, for example, in the past, a historic fashion show, History by the Hemline.
Yes.
We have done several panels, oral history panels. We had one panel that talked to people who had been in the shirt factories.
Oh.
And how effective that kind of industry was in changing the lives of women in this rural area.
Right.
And we had a panel on veterans from various wars. So we've done a lot with oral history. We do publications. We have published a few books, mainly things that were written by kind of memoirs, reminiscences, perhaps you might say. We've done some small histories, and those are available. We did a coloring book for children, mentioning the history of all the pictures are related to the history of the area.
Well,
So
for a
we-
volunteer organization, you're
We
doing
do
a lot. And I
We do a-
interrupted you.
we do
What
a
else
lot.
were you going to say?
We do a lot. Well, we have some things coming up.
Oh, great.
I mentioned the Veterans Program we have on Sunday, November 11th, from 1 to 4. We're going to have an open house so they can see the exhibit there. It's a large room with all the wars from the Revolution to the present represented in some way. And associated with that, we're doing a project to try to collect information on local veterans so we can put together a body of material. We also have coming up 2 events in December. On the first Sunday in December, this is the 7th year, I believe, we do the Mardella Springs Heritage Christmas Tour.
Oh, boy.
And the whole town is involved. We work with the Adkins Historical Museum Complex and the Mardella Fire Company. And we have some houses that will be open for tour. They'll be all decorated for Christmas.
Beautiful.
This is December 2nd this year.
Wow.
From 4 to 7, the museums will be open. Our museum will be open. The Adkins Complex in Mardella is going to be open. There'll be food. There'll be caroling and music and entertainment. The church will be open with musical selections there. We have all kinds of things for people to do. A lot of houses will be decorated, and they'll have a contest. There'll be vendors in the firehouse. So it's a big celebration, and it just kicks off the Christmas spirit in a really nice way. It's free. Almost all of our events are free. Once in a while, we'll have a fundraiser.
Mhm.
Our big event for fundraising is the annual Westside Heritage Festival. It's in May,
Mhm.
second Saturday in May, and that's the theme always celebrates some aspect of our traditions and our heritage and our history. So that's always in Mardello, and that's free. But we do make money from the various events that are sponsored there.
Right.
We started a new one last summer called the Family Field Day,
Mhm.
and we held that at Layton's Chance Winery.
Oh, okay.
It was fun. It was a summertime thing, and we had old-fashioned games for the children, and we had nothing, very complex or too modern here for them.
Well, no.
We had seed spitting contest and all kinds of things. It was fun, and it was just a fun afternoon.
That's terrific. That's
But we,
lovely.
and we also are having another event coming up on December 8th. This is in connection with the Pemberton Hall Foundation.
Mhm.
We've done this for about 4 years now. It's a greenery workshop.
Mm.
And we try to let people learn how to make old-fashioned greenery for their Christmas decorations.
Wow.
They can make wreaths, or they can make all kinds of things.
Table decorations.
Swags, table decorations, all kinds of things. We provide the materials. We have one of the members of the Pemberton group, Bill Wilson, and one of our members, Vivian Calder, are experts at this. They do the teaching, and people can come in. They pay a small fee, $10, and they make whatever they want to make, and they take it home with them.
Terrific.
We have some cider and some cookies and things for them to have there. So we'll be having that on December 8th.
Lovely.
And that's out at Pemberton. That's in the Education Building in Pemberton.
That's lovely.
So
Great.
yeah, it's fun, and it's old-fashioned. Nothing.
Modern.
No.
No electrified things.
No, nothing. Nothing
Just
like
wanted to
that.
clear that
All
up.
natural greens.
All
natural
natural.
greens.
That's
yeah.
lovely. If someone wanted to get involved with your organization, how would they do that?
And we
If they
would
wanted to
love that.
volunteer.
We would love it.
How do they do it?
We need volunteers. We can always use docents to help in the museum, the church, and places when we do that. We can always use clerical help. We have a very substantial collection of documents and records and photographs, and that's all in our little research center in our offices. And we need people that will work on that. We have one
To
volunteer.
archive it, kind of?
Yes, to archiving. We have one volunteer that does that, but we can always use more. We've had some interns from school in the past, and I'd love to have more interns. They're wonderful. We need people who will help in the education program, retired teachers. I'd love to have some retired teachers help us with the education program. But if they want to help us, they can contact us by phone or by email, or they can send us mail. Our email is baroncreek
Okay.
at gmail.com.
baroncreek@gmail.com.
It's
That's
easy
an
to
easy
remember.
one, yes.
It is. The phone number is 410-726-8047.
Terrific.
Or they can mail us at Post Office Box 194 at Mardello Springs, Maryland. Call any of the members, and boy, we would love to have their help. We would appreciate it.
Do you guys have a website?
We do, www.baroncreekheritage.org.
And I presume that you list all of your activities and events and things on there?
We
So
do.
people-
Our
How do people
website-
find out about all this?
Well, word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
We do a lot of promotion with the website and with PAC 14 and with the newspapers and magazines and all sorts of other things. Email is a wonderful thing.
Email is a wonderful
and
thing.
Facebook, yeah.
Yeah.
But our website is, we're doing some new things with it, so we don't have everything on there right now. It'll be on there soon, but yeah, we're having a little redoing on the website. But you can still find out a lot. We have a history of the area, and we have other things on there. Yes.
And support. How do people support? How do you get
Community
your support?
Foundation is wonderful help.
I was hoping you would say that.
Yes,
Good.
the Community Foundation has been a great help to us in many ways. We seek out grants. We have membership. People can become members, and our membership fees are very, very modest. $8 a year for seniors.
$8 a year for seniors.
Yes,
Wow.
$10 for others. And for that, you get 10 issues of our newsletter, the Heritage newsletter. we have some fundraisers, the festival, and some other things that we do. We have the gift shop, and we just beg a lot.
Begging.
Yes, begging.
Begging's
works.
good.
Begging works.
Yeah.
We're in the midst of our annual appeal right now, and
Great.
that's always helpful. But yes, as a nonprofit, as all nonprofits know, it's always a struggle, and you have to put an awful lot of time in it. Sometimes I would rather be putting in other things, but it has to be there.
Sylvia, one more time, give everybody the telephone number, the web address, and the email address if they want to get involved or learn more about the Westside Historical Society.
Yes, phone number 410-726-8047. Our email is barroncreek@gmail.com, and our website is www.barroncreekheritage.org.
Lovely.
Wonderful.
Anything else you want to leave us with before we sign
Thank you
off?
so much for
No,
this
well, thank
opportunity.
you.
We really appreciate it.
Very pleased to have you, and we're very, very pleased that we have folks like yourselves
Thank you.
at the Westside Historical
you.
Society preserving our heritage and culture.
We hope everybody will come out to see us on Veterans Day and December 2nd and December 8th.
Great. All the best to you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Sylvia.
Thank you.
Right. And you've been watching the Community Foundation Spotlight here, and we have had Sylvia Bradley with the Westside Historical Society, and I'm your host, Doug Wilson, from the Community Foundation of the Eastern Shore. Until next time, have a great day. Thank you.
Would you like to see your community organization or nonprofit group featured on PAC 14? To get started, contact us at 410-677-5014 or visit our website at www.pac14.org. PAC 14 is a great way to connect with your community.